The spaceship glided silently through the purple sky of Celestria. Its smooth shape reflected the light of the twin suns as it slowly came closer to the floating city of Leora. The city shone with bright colors and soft music filled the air. Towers made of crystal rose high, and gentle beings moved with grace in the streets below. Chironin, a human man, sat quietly in the ship's cabin. He looked calm, almost peaceful. His dark eyes watched the city growing larger through the window. He took a deep breath and touched the small metal object on his belt blade. Hidden from view, but always close. Kai was not like other visitors who came to Celestria. He was different. The Aurelians, the planet's people, were known for their peaceful nature. They loved music, art, and calm talks. They never used weapons. But Kai carried something the Aurelians could not understand. The ship landed gently near the palace, where the princess of Celestria lived. Princess Illyra was young and kind. She was curious about the humans. They had sent invitations to many species, hoping to learn about the wide galaxy. But no human had ever come before. When Kai stepped out of the ship, he smiled softly. His voice was calm and gentle when he spoke. "Greetings. I am Chironin, a friend of peace and knowledge." The palace guards watched him carefully. Had heard stories about humans that they were strong and sometimes wild, but Kai did not look like a warrior. He looked like a quiet traveler. Princess Illyra came forward. Her skin glowed with soft light, and her eyes were full of curiosity. "Welcome, Chironin. We are honored to have you here." Kai bowed respectfully. "Thank you, Princess. I come in peace, to learn and share stories." The palace was beautiful inside. Walls were decorated with flowing light patterns, and gentle music played from hidden instruments. The Aurelians spoke softly, always careful with their words. Kai noticed the calmness of the place. He liked it. It was very different from Earth, where noise and hurry ruled the streets. Here, everything felt slow and thoughtful. Princess Illyra took Kai on a tour. They walked through gardens where glowing flowers opened slowly. They passed rooms where Aurelians played strange instruments, making sounds that seemed to float like butterflies. Kai told stories about Earth, about its many cultures, its many stars. He spoke of humans' love for music and art, but he did not talk about war or weapons. The princess listened with a smile. She liked Kai's voice and his stories. He seemed gentle and wise. That evening in the great hall, Kai played a strange instrument he had brought from Earth. It was small and made of metal and strings. When he touched it, soft, new sounds filled the room, notes that no Aurelian instrument could make. The people were amazed. They had never heard such music before. The princess clapped with joy. Kai's music was peaceful, but it had a strange power. It made the listeners feel calm and curious at the same time, but not everyone was at ease. An old warrior named Thalen watched Kai quietly. Thalen had served the princess's family for many years. His eyes were sharp, and he noticed things others missed. He saw the small, hidden object on Kai's belt, something like a blade, but different from anything Thalen had seen. Thalen's heart grew uneasy. After the music ended, Kai spoke softly to the princess. "There is much more to learn between our worlds." Illyra nodded. "Yes, Kai. We hope you will stay and teach us." Kai smiled, but his eyes looked far away, like he was thinking about something no one else knew. That night, the palace was quiet. The Aurelians slept peacefully in their soft beds of light. But Kai sat alone in his room, the hidden blade glowing faintly in the dark. He took it out carefully. The metal was cold and strong, unlike anything on Celestria. Kai touched the blade gently. "Peace is precious," he whispered, "but sometimes it must be protected." Outside his window, the stars of the galaxy shone bright. Kai knew that. The peaceful days here might not last forever. He folded the blade away and closed his eyes. Tomorrow, his true journey would begin. The morning sun spilled soft light through the tall windows of the palace. Princess Illyra woke early, eager to see Kai again. He had become a welcome visitor in the court of Celestria. The gentle music he played the night before still echoed. In her mind, in the peaceful halls, the Aurelians moved gracefully, their glowing forms reflecting soft colors. Life on Celestria was calm and slow, a place where the worst fight was a debate about art or music. Kai was already waiting in the great hall, tuning his strange instrument carefully. It was small and made of shining metal, with strings stretched tight across its frame. The sound it made was new and different, a melody that wove through the air like a quiet river. The princess watched as Kai's fingers moved lightly over the strings. When he began to play, the music flowed like a song of stars and oceans. The court listened in silence, feeling the strange, beautiful sound touch their hearts. But something was hidden in the music, something only a few could sense. The notes followed a secret pattern, a code buried deep in the melody. Princess Illyra felt the music in her soul, but she did not understand the secret beneath it. Thalon, the old warrior, sat quietly near the back. His eyes narrowed. The melody was strange, yes, but it felt like a message meant for someone else. After the song ended, the court clapped softly. Kai smiled and bowed. "Your music is like nothing we have ever heard," Illyra said, stepping forward. "Where did you learn to play like this?" Kai looked thoughtful. "On Earth, music tells many stories. Sometimes it hides secrets, too." Illyra smiled. "I would like to learn. Will you teach me?" Kai nodded. "I would be honored, princess." For days, Kai played for the court and taught some Aurelians to make music. His songs brought a new feeling to the peaceful planet. They were calm, yet full of hidden power. But late at night, away from the bright halls and kind faces, Kai's true thoughts wandered far. In his private room, he kept the strange blade close. It was made of metal, unknown to the Aurelians. The blade was sharp and strong, but Kai never used it for fighting. Instead, he polished it carefully and thought of the danger waiting beyond the stars. One evening, Princess Illyra visited him quietly. She wanted to thank him for the music and to speak about the future. Kai welcomed her with a gentle smile. "Princess," he said softly, "there is much more to our worlds than peace and music. There are shadows, too." Illyra's eyes widened. "What do you mean, Kai?" He hesitated. "There are threats beyond this world. Pirates, rogue machines, and others who want to take what is not theirs." Illyra felt a chill. "But here on Celestria we have no enemies. We live in light and harmony." Kai nodded. "But peace can be fragile. It must be protected." She looked at him closely. "Do you carry a weapon?" Kai's hand brushed the hidden blade at his belt. "It is a tool of last defense. I hope never to use it." Illyra felt a mix of trust and fear. She wanted to believe in Kai's peaceful words. But the secret blade told another story. Meanwhile, Thalon continued his quiet watch. He followed Kai's movements and listened to his soft conversations. One night, Thalon saw Kai in the palace garden, speaking softly into the darkness. His words were not meant for the Aurelians. They were a signal, a call to someone far away. Thalon's heart beat faster. Who is this man really? He wondered. He waited until Kai left the garden and then approached carefully. "Kai Ronan," Thalon said in a low voice. "Why do you hide a blade here? What is your true mission?" Kai turned slowly, his calm face unreadable. "I am here to protect peace," he said simply. "But with a blade?" Thalon asked. Confused, Kai smiled faintly. "Sometimes the edge of a blade speaks louder than words." Thalon was not sure what to think. He respected the princess's wishes, but feared the unknown. Days passed, and the peaceful world of Celestria began to feel a quiet tension beneath its calm surface. One morning, the planetary shield that protected Celestria suddenly faltered. Lights flickered, alarms rang, and panic spread. The Aurelians, who had never faced danger, did not know what to do. Princess Illyra called the council together. They needed a solution. Fast. Kai stepped forward. His calm voice cut through the chaos. "The shield's failure is caused by a flaw in the system," he explained. I can help fix it, but you must trust me." The council hesitated but had no other choice. Kai worked quickly, moving through the control room with ease. His knowledge of Earth's technology was different but useful. He repaired the shield with a mix of skill and quiet determination. When the shield hummed back to life, relief filled the room. Princess Illyra looked at Kai with new respect. "You saved us," she said softly. "How did you know?" Kai's eyes held a quiet sadness. Sometimes knowing how to protect peace means carrying the knowledge of conflict. That night, the princess found herself thinking about Kai's words in the secret blade. She wondered if peace was really safe, or if it was just a moment before a storm. Outside the palace, the stars blinked in the vast sky. Kai sat alone, holding his blade, ready for what might come next. Days passed on Celestria, but the feeling of calm slowly faded. The once peaceful planet now held a quiet tension. Everyone knew the planetary shield was fixed, but no one understood why it had failed in the first place. Princess Illyra watched Kai carefully. She wanted to trust him completely, but the secret blade and his calm but serious words made her uneasy. One morning, an urgent message came from the outer space watchtower. The shield was acting strangely again. Something was trying to get close to Celestria. The council gathered quickly. The Aurelians moved nervously. They had no weapons. They had never fought before. Kai stood among them, calm as ever. "The shield is strong now," he said softly, "but it cannot hold forever if the threat grows. We must prepare." "What can we do?" Lyra asked, her voice shaking. Kai looked at her, his eyes steady. "We can learn to protect ourselves." The princess nodded slowly. She did not want war, but she knew Kai was right. The peaceful world needed to be ready. Thalen, the old warrior, stepped forward. "We have no soldiers," he said. "No weapons to fight." Kai smiled faintly. "Sometimes the best weapon is knowledge and courage." That night, Kai taught the Aurelians about defense. Not weapons or fighting, but about shields, sensors, and ways to hide. He showed them how to work together to protect their home. Princess Illyra listened carefully, learning from Kai's wisdom. But the mystery of the approaching danger grew closer. One evening, as the sun set and painted the sky in pink and gold, the palace security reported strange ships near the outer borders of Celestria's space. "These are pirates," Kai said quietly, "not like the peaceful travelers we know. They come to take what is not theirs." The princess's heart pounded. Pirates on Celestria seemed impossible. Kai moved with purpose. He went to the spaceport and began to prepare. The Aurelians were scared. They had no weapons, no armies. They could only watch. The pirate ships came closer, dark and sharp against the stars, but Kai stood calmly at the spaceport, his hidden blade at his side, his strange instrument silent. The pirates sent a message: "Surrender your planet. You have no power to fight." Kai did not answer with words. Instead, he lifted his strange instrument and played a soft, low song, a message in code that no one except a few could understand. The pirates stopped. Their ships hesitated. Then, far behind the moon, hidden from view, a human dreadnought ship appeared. Its great size and glowing engines told a story of strength and power. The pirates saw the dreadnought and turned away, retreating quickly into space. The people of Celestria watched in awe and relief. They did not understand what had just happened. "Princess." Illyra approached Kai, her eyes full of questions. "Who are you really?" she asked. Kai smiled gently. "I am an agent of the Human Preservation Treaty Corps. We protect worlds like yours from harm." Illyra's heart was full of mixed feelings. She felt betrayed and grateful at the same time. Kai continued, "Humans do not start wars. We want peace, but we prepare for when peace is broken." The princess looked at the hidden blade on his belt. "It is a symbol," Kai said. "Not a tool of war, but a reminder." From that day, the Aurelians learned that peace was not only about kindness, but also about courage and preparation. Princess Illyra wrote a new song about Kai, a a song called The Blade that sang in silence. And though Kai left Celestria soon, after his presence stayed in the hearts of the people, quiet strength behind their peaceful world, the days after the pirate ships had fled were filled with quiet celebrations and relief on Celestria. The people praised Chironin for his courage and skill, even though he had not fought with a weapon. His strange music and calm presence had saved them all. Princess Illyra found herself thinking about Kai more and more. She wanted to understand him, to know why he carried a blade, and what it truly meant. One afternoon she visited Kai's quarters. The room was simple, with few possessions. But in the corner, a small chest held the mysterious blade. Its metal shining faintly in the soft light, Illyra stood quietly, watching Kai as he looked out the window toward the stars. "Kai," she said, "softly you say you protect peace. But why do you carry that blade?" Kai turned to her, his eyes calm but serious. "It is a reminder, a promise to myself and to those I protect. Peace is worth protecting, even if it means facing danger." Illyra nodded slowly. "Do you think peace can last forever?" Kai smiled, a gentle but sad smile. "Peace is not a place you arrive at and stay. It is something you build every day, with care, with courage." Their conversation was interrupted by a sudden alarm. The palace security reported a strange ship entering Celestrian space's ship, unlike the pirates before. It was sleek, silent, and unknown. The council gathered quickly. The Aurelians were nervous, but curious. This new ship did not send any messages. It simply hovered near their world. Watching, Kai studied the ship carefully. "This is a test," he said. "A challenge." Princess Illyra looked at him, her heart pounding. "What do we do?" Kai took the hidden blade from the chest. "I do not wish to use this," he said. "But sometimes the edge of a blade speaks louder than words." Went to the spaceport, where the mysterious ship waited silently. Kai stood alone, facing the unknown. The Aurelians watched from the palace, holding their breath, without fear. Kai sent a signal, a peaceful invitation. Moments later, a small group of alien representatives appeared on Celestria. They came to speak, not to fight. Kai met them with respect and calm. The aliens explained they had come to see if Celestria was ready to join a larger alliance of peaceful planets. They tested the planet's strength and wisdom before welcoming it. Kai's quiet courage and the peaceful spirit of the Aurelians impressed the visitors. Princess Illyra felt a new hope rise in her heart. She saw that peace was not weakness, but strength that needed protection, courage, and the will to face challenges. When the aliens left, Kai returned the blade to its place. "It is not a weapon to use," he said softly. "It is a symbol of the balance between peace and strength." The princess understood then that Kai was more than a visitor. He was a teacher, a guardian, and a reminder. That night, under the shining stars, Ilya wrote a new song. It was a song about a blade that never cut, but always spoke. A song about peace that was guarded by courage. And in the quiet halls of the palace, Kai prepared to continue his journey. There were many worlds like Celestria, worlds that needed peace and the strength to keep it. The stars above Celestria shone brighter than usual, as if they too were watching the final days of Chironin's visit. The golden towers of the floating city stood tall in the warm breeze. Everything looked peaceful again, but deep inside the hearts of the Aurelians, something had changed. Princess Illyra sat alone in the music garden, surrounded by soft flowers that glowed in the evening light. Her thoughts were full of questions. She held a piece of paper in her hand, a message from the Galactic Council. The words were clear. "Celestria has passed the test. You are ready to join the circle of peaceful worlds." It was good news, but her heart was heavy. Chironin was leaving. She heard his quiet footsteps before she saw him. He walked into the garden wearing his usual simple clothes. His blade was hidden again, tucked away as it always was, quiet but near. "You came too." "Say goodbye," Illyra said softly. Without turning, Kai nodded. "Yes, princess. My time here is done." Illyra looked up at him. Why must you go? You could stay. Teach us more. Help us build stronger peace. Kai gave a small smile. Mission is not to stay, but to prepare. There are other worlds like yours, gentle, kind, and unguarded. They need someone to remind them that peace is not just silence. It is something you defend. She stood and looked into his eyes. Is that what your blade is for? Defense? I pulled the blade from his belt, slowly and carefully. The blade did not shine with power. It looked simple, smooth, almost delicate, but there was a quiet strength in its design. This blade, Kai said, has never tasted blood, and I hope it never will. Then why carry it? She asked again. Because sometimes, he said, the sight of a blade stops the hand of war before it begins. Because knowing you are ready gives others the courage to stay calm. Illyra fell silent. Then she reached out her hand. Then leave it here. It's a gift. A reminder to my people that peace must always be protected. Kai looked at her for a long moment. Slowly, he placed the blade in her palm. It is not just metal, he warned. It carries responsibility. I understand, she said, and I accept it. That night, the city of Leora held a farewell celebration. Soft lights floated in the air, music played across the rooftops. The Aurelians gathered to honor the human who had brought them not weapons. But Wisdom Kai stood beside Princess Illyra as she played a new song on the instrument he had given her, a song she wrote herself, titled The Blade That Sang in Silence. It told the story of a man who came with music, stayed with peace, left behind a silent sword that never needed to be used. When the music ended, Kai stepped forward to speak. You do not need war to be strong, he said. You only need unity, courage, and the will to protect what matters. Do not fear the shadows. Shine brighter than them. The crowd stood in silence, listening, understanding. Early the next morning, Kai's small ship rose into the sky, heading toward the stars. Princess Illyra watched from her balcony. In her hands was the blade, now placed in a crystal case in the center of the palace garden. From that day, the people of Celestria changed. They did not build weapons. They did not start armies, but they trained in courage. They learned to work as one when danger came. They studied the stars more carefully. And they remembered that peace is not the absence of trouble. It is the decision to face trouble with calm strength. The floating cities became brighter. The people became wiser. And the name Kai Ronin became part of every child's lessons. Not as a warrior, but as a guardian of peace. Many years later, travelers from distant stars would come to Celestria and ask, Who gave you the strength to stay peaceful in a galaxy full of danger? And the Aurelians would answer, A quiet man with a blade that never sang, except in silence.